always, I like to make a video when it's just me in the office, because an hour from now, no, more like 2 hours, it'll be full. But today, the two things that I really don't like. So number one is there's a lot of motorbikes in Bangkok. Now that's not the problem. The problem is one out of every like 50 or 100, they do this thing where it makes their bike scream super loud and the exhaust is super annoying and it's just like this up and down sound. From what I hear, it's a modification that you actually need to pay for. So people out there actually pay to make their bike sound like a piece of garbage. It's terrible. If you've been in Bangkok, you know what I'm talking about. There'll just be a bike that's just screeching across the street at an unbelievably high decibel rate. You almost have to cover your ears. It's more or less a public nuisance. I've talked to other people about it who hate it just as much as I do, and it should really be like illegal, or they should give these people a fine or not allow that. It's also part of it is I'm trying to think, why do people do that? And I think I really don't know. The only thing I can postulate is that it's attention seeking. It's like, okay, I know people like bikes and it's cool or whatever, but when you make your bike so ridiculously loud that people look at you, maybe that's it. I really don't know. You guys let me know, especially if there's anyone who's familiar with bikes or the topic or things like that. The second one is that I live in the middle of Ekamai and Prakanong, and there's a mosque near where I live. And I know it's overly politically correct in the US and stuff. People would even be afraid to say this, but I am objective and I treat all things equally, so keep that in mind. Anyways, this mosque, oh my God. I respect the fact that they are like diligent, persistent, committed or whatever, but they make a ridiculous amount of noise every day. And the worst time of it, really, I don't mind if it's in the afternoon or evening, whatever. I'm awake anyway. But every day at 5 a.m., they're blasting their horn. They're yelling some stuff in a foreign language. Arabic, I guess, or whatever. And it wakes me up. And I can't stand it. So every day I'm woken up by this screaming and this bell and this foreign tongues yelling, I don't know what. And that is one of the most obnoxious things that I've witnessed here. It's unbelievable. That should also be illegal, quite frankly. The only thing, of course, it has the sheath or the protection of religion. So whatever. I know people are going to get upset about that. I don't care. Like I said, I'm just being objective and honest. If that was any other person doing that, if it was a non-religious entity, if it was a different, belief system like Christianity, I would say the same thing. I'd be like, that's just, it shouldn't be acceptable. Looking at that from another perspective is I'm inclined to believe they don't actually care about how much noise they're making, because maybe one, they don't care what other people think. Two, it's probably like some sort of mechanism to keep people like me away from the mosque, because they want to attract people who would use the mosque to live there, while at the same time repelling people who don't want to be around that, other places. So my honest recommendation would be, don't live anywhere near Prakanong station on the north side if you're going to stay in Bangkok. It's really that bad. I didn't even really know about it until after I moved into my apartment. But 5 a.m. every day, blaring horns, yelling, it's absurd, unbelievable. But those are the two things. Honestly, one of them could be gotten rid of if I just lived somewhere else, and the other one is just noisy bikes. So, putting this into perspective, you guys know I love Bangkok. So if these are the worst things, I'm doing okay. You know what I mean? So just keep those things in mind, and whenever you guys come to Bangkok, hopefully you're not in the same, noise level area. But other than that, life here is great. I'll definitely have to make a video before I leave about the top two things I love about Bangkok. It would be a lot more than two, to be honest. There's a reason I'm here. There was a reason I've stayed here and been here more than once. But let's talk about that later, guys. Take care. I'll see you guys. Have a good day.